Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us. Hey, and by now you'll have realized our prayer meeting this morning would have happened between 6 and 6:15 a.m. We hope that you're getting in. Prayer is such a vital part of what we do at the VP. We depend on the divine connection to make impartations that allow us to do what we do. For this week we've looked at the book of Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7. Here's what it says. Don't be misled. You cannot mock the justice of God. You will always harvest what you plant. So Monday we dealt with we reap what we sow. Tuesday we dealt with we reap more than what we sow. Yesterday, Wednesday, we looked at we reap where we sow. Today, I'd like us to look at we reap after we sow. Stop trying to reap where you have just put it in the ground. It requires patience, and it requires discipline. So you've got to stay the course, and it requires effort because now you've got to tend the garden. You don't just throw it on the ground and walk away and expect to reap a harvest. That's not how it happens. It means you've got to take care of it. You've got to be disciplined because we reap after we sow. You put it in today, and you allow it to marinate and grow and let the sunlight and water and all of that hit. And then you start to see the plant growing before you're able to harvest. Some harvests are long-term crops. Some harvests are short-term crops. Some things we do, we plant now, we will reap it in a week, in a month, in 3 months. There are other things will take us some years before we start reaping. You've got to appreciate though, that we're going to reap after we sow. If you don't do it, if you don't make the effort, if you don't make the sacrifice, if you don't put in the work spiritually, you're never going to reap a harvest that is of the Spirit of God. So people say, Pastor, why do people fast? Because we want to sow to the Spirit. You say, why do people spend so long in prayer? Because we want to sow to the Spirit. Why do people read and study the Bible so often? Because we want to sow to the Spirit so that we can reap of the Spirit of God that which is of the resource that God has. You would not believe that you never stop sowing because we always want to be at the point where we're reaping. So when you're now starting your Christian walk, you may sow some stuff that you're going to reap 10 years, 15 years after. And I want you to appreciate, I'm not just talking about money now. I'm talking about your life and those things that are important being sown. In case you don't realize, Christ was sown for us. And now he is reaping from our lives his harvest. Why can't we sow in him and allow him to also be a part of what we reap in this life? Amen? Come on. We're going to get into our day-to-day, and every aspect, every decision, make sure it is sowing into your spirit. Every relationship, make sure it's sowing into God, into the Spirit of God, because it is of the Spirit of God who would like to reap some. Amen.